Hey cupies. So welcome back. I know that I was saying that like I wasn't going to be like active as much this weekend, but change of plans. What I was originally planning is no longer the plan in place because now since coming off the road, I now have to find a job for the winter, which is what I'm doing. I've been hitting the ground running, applying to jobs. Yesterday, that's all I did was job application. I'm throwing them all at the wall. Just something got to stick, right? I looked into applying to Goodwill. I applied to Tim Hortons. I applied to, oh, the hiring manager is at Burger King today at 2, so I need to go in and make a point of going in. Ooh, I gotta change my outfit. I gotta be looking a little bit nicer than this. Like, sure, this is cute and casual and everything, but I wanna establish myself as a put together person, put my best foot forward. First impressions is everything, and someone who show up in person, dressed nice and well taken care of, that's always going to look good. Every day I've been exercising. I've been coming up. So I've tried physical therapy in the past, on 2 separate occasions now, with 2 very different physical therapy locations and like situations, I guess. And each one had a different approach to it. And the first one sucked. The second one sucked less. But through trial and error and my own like experimentation and everything, I think I'm finding something on my own that is actually more helpful to me than anything I've learned in any of my physical therapy experiences. So I have a condition called hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, otherwise known as HEDS. I also have lupus, and this is a pretty gnarly combination at times, because it's like one's beating me down one way and one's beating me down another, one's trashing my body just by attacking healthy everything for no reason, just for fun, I guess. I know that's like an oversimplification. I like to make jokes about it. It makes it easier. So I just joke. I'm like, oh, yes, my body's eating itself for fun, when in reality, it's just my immune system attacking my skin, muscles, joints, blood, and nervous system. And God only knows the damage being done to my internal organs. I can't even feel those bitches no more, so. I know there's a lot of things I can't regulate with my body anymore, and so it's just like there's that end of things, and then on the other hand, with HEDS, you have other complications to worry about, such as the biggest one is a lot of your joints move too far. They're too mobile. They're hypermobile. So the connective tissue isn't as tight as it should be. So your joints, you look like you're overly flexible person, but it comes at a cost because you're dislocating your joints doing basic tasks. I'll pick up my book bag and my shoulder's going to pop out of its socket just doing that. So I've got these resistance bands. I got a whole pack of them. I have worked my way up to the extra heavy size. Because I've been working at this for a couple of weeks now, like 2 weeks, I want to say. And I've just been slowly working my way up. And I started out with the light and worked my way up to medium, then heavy, which is gray, and now we're on extra heavy, which is pink. But yeah, and I have noticed that in doing this, not only do I feel physically a lot better, and mentally better for that matter. And the thing is, even in my depressive slump, I still was exercising. That's one thing I did not stop doing. And I think that that's part of how I've been able to claw and scratch and fight my way out of that slump. And I know that I do need to get on medication. I do, because I'm not going to be able to continue to, battle it on my own without any kind of assistance. Right now, what I'm experiencing, I recognize it as something temporary. It's a temporary moment of clarity where I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I know how to get my life on track. I know how to get what I want, and I know how to fight this depression by working on my future. And it's offering an excellent distraction from myself for the moment. It is weird. I'm distracting myself with myself. But really, it's just about self-improvement. Hold on. It is getting very warm in here. Like I said, I just got done working out, so I no longer need the space heater to be on. At least not at the moment. But I have found that over the past few weeks, I have been dealing with a lot less joint pain as far as like the dislocation, things popping out of place issues. My hips are not popping out of their sockets while I'm walking as much anymore. It's actually hardly happening at all. And so I have a series of exercises that I've been doing that I found has been helping with this. And I'm going to, once I really get it narrowed down to what ones are helpful and what I need to do and, you know, all that good stuff, I'm going to probably make a video talking about my experimentations and what I found has been helpful for me. It might not be helpful for everyone, but however, it could be helpful to someone, because these are conditions that are not very well understood, especially in combination with one another, and because you got to be considerate of one while you're trying to handle treating the other. And that's the complication of it, you know, when it comes to juggling multiple chronic illnesses and disabilities. And I know that there's a big portion of disability that nobody ever really talks about, and that's that part where you defeat yourself. It's the part where, you know, you start to fall apart a little bit because you're like, damn, this is my reality, you know? And you're just like, maybe I should do X, Y, and Z. And then, you know, you go to do X, Y, and Z, and then your body says, no. And punishes you for it. You become afraid to try things. You become afraid to push yourself. You become, in your own mind, a prisoner of your disability, where you're defeating yourself before you even try. You become scared to try. It's just like Shauna Steele says, where you're like, at a certain point with your weight, when it gets to a certain point, you stop trying to go out. You stop trying to do stuff. You stop pushing yourself because you're scared you're going to fall. You're scared you're going to get hurt. You're scared of this. You're scared of that. It's a very similar thing with when it comes to disability. You become scared to fight because you're scared that you'll get your hopes up and that your body's going to take that away and crush you again. And so it's like the biggest challenge in overcoming that is fighting through it and, you know, feeling that fear, that anxiety, and pushing through it and doing it anyway. So that's just like, I don't know. It's like something that I've been coming to terms with over the course of the week. I've actually been planning this little video that I'm doing right now. I can wait a moment. Sorry, the men are out there working, using forklifts and stuff, moving gravel and stuff or something. I don't know. That sounded like really rough, though. That sounded like SpongeBob sneaking into Patrick's house at night trying to steal the secret box. You guys know the episode. It's iconic. Anyway. So it's interesting how that's never really talked about, how, like, physical disability has a psychological and mental impact. It is a horribly traumatic thing. You're 21 years old and your arms are numb. Your hands are numb. You're 22 years old and you can't feel your feet. And you can't regulate your body temperature. You're 23 years old and your muscles is twitching and your hands is tremoring and shaking. You know what I mean? So you're watching in real time as this horror movie around you unfolds, as you're trapped in it. You cannot leave. And that mindset gets you. And once that mindset gets you, it don't matter what your body do at that point. You've already defeated yourself. You start laying in bed all the time, too scared to, like, get up and push yourself and, you know, suffer the consequences. And right now I'm doing everything I can to take good care of myself. I've stopped smoking weed. I don't drink anymore. Except a little bit on occasion. Like today, I'm probably going to go over to Chavoy's and we're going to celebrate with a little bit of wine or Moscato or something. Because I'm sitting here getting my life together. She's getting her life together. We're both like coming up. We're both in our glow up era, our redemption arc, redeeming ourselves for ourselves, you know, getting our lives together, you know. So like, I don't know, that's like a really big thing. So we're gonna celebrate. It's the weekend, so we're gonna celebrate a little bit, and I'm actually really excited about that because like, I don't know, it's important to like talk to your friends and like have a social life and make those connections, you know. And I don't know, like, I feel like she's been very helpful to me with all of this, even as I've been in my slump. She's brutally honest. She was like, you know, low key, you kind of were a bum. And I'm like, yeah, I know you're right, but damn. It's like, I'll be a little bit butthurt about it. Don't get me wrong. But like, she's right. She'll be brutally honest. She'll tell you what you need to hear. And those are the best friends to have. Not the ones who are just yes men who are like, gonna go with whatever you're saying. Not the ones who are just trying to appease you and make you happy. No, not enablers. Everyone needs a friend, at least one friend who is honest and tells them what they need to hear. And my best friend, Chavoy, she's that friend for me. She's like, look, I get that you have your disabilities and stuff, but you kind of leaning on that as an excuse, you know, letting yourself be defeated by it. And you know what? She's right. She was right. And so yeah, like I've been working very hard to not do that anymore. And because, frankly, Travis also said the same thing about how I was defeating myself in my own mind before I could even try. And so I've been fighting like hell every day, getting up. I have my morning routine. I exercise. Normally I have some tea, but I need to clean my teapot. I'm going to do that tonight before I go hang out with Chavoy. And then I'm going to go back to drinking my every day. I have a small pot of green tea every morning. Okay. Here. It's just a little teapot that also is a teacup. It's a tea for one kind of set, and I like the fact that it allows me to do my own little personal tea rituals or whatever. You know, because I'm a little crazy. I got my little rules and rituals about everything, especially when it comes to things I'm consuming. So like tea and food, and even with weed, I always had like a little ritualistic way of handling it. I don't know if that's my autism or what. But yeah, I have a very specific routine for all of these things, and it makes it feel sacred almost. And the routine itself is soothing. And tea is probably the oldest thing in my life that has brought me peace or joy. I remember the first time I ever tried tea, I was 3 weeks old. Let's see, I was really sick. And I remember the way the apartment looked. There were pictures on the wall. It was wicked dark. And it kind of like, the furniture was generic in a waiting room kind of way. So for years, I actually thought this memory was not even an apartment. I thought we were out somewhere. I thought we were in some sort of like department store or some sort of waiting room or something. So I never realized until I was describing it to my mom, and her jaw dropped. She's like, how the hell do you remember that you were 3 weeks old? Because apparently I was really sick. My mom's breast milk was making me sick, and she was panicking. She didn't know what to do. That was her first kid. And she was young, you know. She was only 18 when I was born. She was 17 when she got pregnant. But yeah, actually, it's kind of interesting. Mom's entire life was shaped by my existence. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'll probably get into that in another video, because, yeah. But yeah. So, like, she was like, whoa, you were 3 weeks old. How do you remember that? And the thing is, I've always had a, like, really weird, like, photographic, like, memory, or as the technical term goes, eidetic memory. And it's interesting having something like that, but also at the same time having learning disabilities that make it a little bit harder, because it's like, this is a concept I cannot wrap my head around. How can I remember this? If that makes any sense. Yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling. Let me get back on topic. But yeah, so tea has always been a very soothing part of my life. Even just participating in making the tea, setting up to make the tea is soothing to me. And also I've noticed that green tea has had a very great effect on my body when I drink it. I've noticed that my inflammation is down. Because that's the thing, when you deal with inflammation a lot, you become very, very aware of it. Your body, you can feel it. And so whenever I drink green tea every single day, I've noticed that my inflammation is a little bit less, and my bloating is less as well. So yeah, that's also a very good self-care kind of routine I get into. I'm back to drinking my ginger ale, like, all the time, because that's kind of the thing that makes it slightly bearable. My medication that I'm on, it's called Plaquenil, and it kind of destroyed my appetite entirely. Last night my brother took me to dinner, and I got through maybe a total of 7 bites of food. And I'm like, oh my God, I gotta do better than this. And I'm like staring down at my plate, and I'm like, I can't even finish this one plate. And I'm like, damn, now I'm remembering where I was coming from, why I was doing that, the weed and everything. It was the only thing helping me maintain my weight with this medication. But another thing that does help with the nausea is this. However, it does not give me an appetite. So I guess that's why I did end up going in favor of weed. But I'm just gonna have to fight and push through that. So yeah. But yeah, I've been doing a lot to kind of try and better my life. And we're doing good. We are. And yeah, also, I have been talking to Travis. Nothing major. We were just basically talking about music, Pink Floyd, you know. I've been, I also showed him the screenshot of the email that tells me to keep an eye out for my confirmation, like my acceptance letter. It's like, hey, you've been accepted into our college. Keep an eye out for this in the mail, this acceptance letter and further information. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so exciting, because like I didn't think. Okay, so I thought the way I was thinking, and I trapped myself into this mindset. I really did. I thought to myself, I missed my opportunity at college. I thought, okay, I applied back in 2020. They accepted me. And then when it came time to fill out the FAFSA, my father decided to suddenly, like, flake. Because, I don't know if you guys know this, but under the age of 24, you're not able to file your FAFSA independent of your parent without special circumstances. And it's actually a lot of hoops to jump through, and your parent not wanting to or refusing to, unfortunately, does not apply as a circumstance that you can file independent of your parent. So, for people in that situation, you have to wait until you turn 24 and age out of that to apply independent of your parents. Or at least that is how I have understood it, and how it has been explained to me by multiple colleges when I have tried to go multiple times. Sorry, I'm like... Anyway... So, I kind of, like, thought, there was that one chance, and it's never going to happen again. You know, I'll never get accepted into this college again. I'll never, you know, have the same opportunities. And I decided to say, screw it, I'm going to do it anyway and see what happens. And now I realize I was being a total idiot. So yeah, I got accepted, and Travis told me he's proud of me. And that meant the world. It did. And it's like, a lot of people are telling me they're proud of me, but it doesn't mean the same to me, you know? My dad's not even proud of me. He says that he is, but I know he's not. I know he doesn't give a fuck. He only gives a fuck about his perception in the world. So, if I died tomorrow, the only reason he'd show up crying is for the sympathy. So yeah. So it's like, for anyone to be proud of me, it means a great deal to me. Like, a lot of my friends are proud of me, and that means the world to me as well. Another thing I'm going to work on is I'm going to start making, once my truck is legal, that is, because right now it's not legal, because Brandy, my stepmom, is pretty awful. She's as bad as my dad. She's legitimately, in a way, hinted around how she kind of, like, thinks it would be okay or a good idea for me to kill myself. So, like, congratulations to my stepmom. You get Mother of the Year award. No wonder your kids freaking hate you and cut you off as soon as they turn into adults, unless they need something from you. Like, Jesus. But yeah, she has the title of the truck, and my brother's been trying to fight with her about that, because it's my brother's truck, but it was in her name. So my brother's trying to get it switched over, so then he can sell it to me and it can be switched over to me. I mean, I've already paid for it, so he's letting me use it, but we've got to jump through a lot of hoops to get it in my name. And if she knew that, she would be even worse about this. And it's very frustrating, because it's like, I can't have, I need transportation, you know? So, like, the truck's not legal yet, but I still have to get places. So it's a very tricky predicament. And like yesterday, there was like a lot of cops out, and I was like, oh my God, you know? And so I was just like, nope. Any place we're going, we're going to need a ride. Calculated risks. The important thing is always to calculate the level of the risk. When there was all them cops out, I was like, nope. And I have a feeling now they're going to be keeping an eye out for my truck, because I'm pretty sure they were trying to pinch me yesterday. They were really trying. Like, the situation overall could have been a lot worse. Nothing bad actually ended up happening. However, that was a very scary situation to be in, and it's a very sobering one. And so it's just like, I need my stepmom to stop dicking around. I know she's not working. She has no excuse. She better watch out. I'll pour sugar in her gas tank. I'm just joking, for clarification. They have cameras on their property, so why on earth would I do that? And besides, now that this video exists, and thus publicly stating it, I'm the first suspect, so that's nice and incriminating. Now, if it happens, they're probably going to think it's me. Sorry, honey, I don't buy sugar. Sugar's the devil. Besides, I'm just going to be successful. Then my dad and stepmom will regret treating me like shit all the time. And they'll come crying and begging with their hand out. Please. I raised you. Won't you help me buy these things? that I really want. Support your dad and his dreams. And I'll say, no. I could, but I won't. And, I'll probably put on a show of, even, gifting very nice things to other people just to make a point, because I am spiteful. I am driven by spite almost purely. So, yeah, I'm going to go to med school. I'm going to do something with my life. And then my dad's going to come crawling in my life, begging for handouts, trying to guilt trip and manipulate me. And I'm going to slam the door in his face and tell him to get off my property before he gets shot. My father is not welcome on my property. He steps up on my property, I'm immediately assuming this is a threat. That man almost killed me as a child. I am done. On multiple occasions. Mostly through starvation, but that's not the point. God. Also, by the way, that's got to be the worst way to die is through starvation. Because it beats you down mentally, too. Because it's you start to think, damn, there ain't no point in waking up anymore. And you start to think that way. You start to, when your brain is deprived of food, you really get into a depressive way. And it locks you into this vicious cycle of self-loathing and, dissatisfaction with your life where you're, kind of, hate living. But anyway, so, yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at in life, what I'm doing, what's going on. But, yeah, after talking to my dad yesterday, so my dad made a promise with all of us when we were young. And the thing is, 2 of us didn't even get to go to college initially because of him. We both had to wait to age out of the system. My brother, he wanted to go to a technical college, not a actual traditional college, where he would learn a trade or a skill, because that's something he excels at. We all have different areas of expertise or areas where we excel and do well, strong areas. And he was planning on going to college for stuff like that, like welding and stuff and everything like that. And it's yeah, no, for my brother, that is a perfect fit. He's very skilled in that area of things, and it is a hands-on type of job, which is exactly what he's skilled at. He has a harder time with book smarts type stuff, but we all have our areas of strengths and weaknesses. I have a hard time with math. I have a very, very hard time with numbers. I have to do a lot of adaptive things to work with it. So yeah, it's just he made a promise that if we go to college, he would get us a car. Each one of us, this deal applies. Okay, awesome. That's nice. And, so when I showed him the screenshot of my acceptance email confirming that I have been accepted and that I should keep an eye out for the acceptance letter in the mail, which, fingers crossed, I'm hoping so much that this actually goes in the direction that it started to go last time I tried. I'm not going to jinx it, though, so I'm not going to say nothing. I don't know. I'm very hopeful. And I know that with the field that I'm getting into, I will be safe. If you are a doctor, because nurses, you're going to still you still might get laid off. I know my friend, she got laid off and she's still looking for a new job. She worked at this hospital for years, and I guess right now the economy's hurting so bad that they start laying off a lot of nurses and, other stuff like that. And it's just but if you're a doctor, you're basically guaranteed your job as long as you're decent at it. Unless you're a quack, you're good. So it's just I know that that will afford me a comfortable enough solution future, or whatever. And the thing is, if my physical disabilities get to the point where I can no longer physically practice medicine or whatever, I can just teach the next generation of doctors. I could be a professor or a teacher from a wheelchair if things progress to such an extent. So I don't need to let fear hold me back from this. I can adapt. And that's the important thing about this. And so that's kind of like, I guess, where I'm coming from with this, why I'm going the direction I'm going. And plus, I am passionate about it and very knowledgeable. My brain, when I was in high school, I barely scraped by in a lot of my classes. The only 2 classes I got above 100% A, due to bonus points, because like I was just over the top like that, was physiology and anatomy. Had that stuff memorized. I still remember the stuff I learned in that class. And the second thing being art. So yeah, and in English I scraped by with a B because I was lazy and I didn't like doing my writing my papers until last minute. But for a last minute paper to get a B as your average in the class, imagine if I actually put in the work. Which is exactly what I'm going to do for college. I'm actually going to put in the work. And I'm going to have to hit the ground running and work extra, extra, extra hard when it comes to math. But yeah, so I'm very excited about all this. And I was telling my dad about it and everything. And my dad was like, okay, that's cool. And just sent a thumbs up emoji. And it's like, I expected that. And it's annoying. My mom's proud, but it is what it is. It's like, yeah, she's proud, but it's like, oh no, I feel like the hype could be there. There could be more hype, but that's not the point. She's also really stressed out right now, so I don't blame her. She's stressed out about the housing situation. But yeah, so anyway, so I texted him. I'm like, okay, so I have a truck. I don't need a car. So instead of that, I was thinking maybe this would be a lot cheaper of an option anyway than a car. Because he did get my little sister a car. He got Katie a freaking car. She's going to college and everything. And it's like, I'm sorry. So you're actually going to follow through on your promises to the child that's not even yours. Like, sure, he raised her. His name's on her birth certificate. But let's be real here. The whole family has always known this whole time that that is not his kid. And I can get a DNA test and prove it. But that's not the point. That's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is, he only kept his promises to a kid that's not even his. Sure, he raised her, but still. So, anyway, so I was like, you know what? Instead, maybe I could get this used MacBook that was like $550. That's a lot cheaper than a freaking car. And he was like, nope, sorry, I'm broke. And then I talked to my brother, and this man ain't broke. This man's got $80,000 sitting in the bank account right now. He owns multiple cars, owns multiple electronic devices. He hoards them. It's actually a problem. And an entire duplex that he turned into a single family home. Like, fine, you know? And so I decided to pivot, and I was like, do you have any extra, like, laptops or, you know, iPads that I could possibly, like, get one off of you, you know, for college, you know? And he was like, nope, sorry, I don't have any extra. I sold the last extra one to James, and it's like, I should have expected that, but I thought that maybe since I was coming out of it with like, hey, I don't need a car, this is what I need, and, you know, I also sent Dad the screenshot, so knows I'm not like pulling some fib, and he was like, cool, and then he was like, I'm broke, and that was the end of it, and I was like, okay, never mind. So, yeah, one day when I'm, like, super successful and everything, he's not allowed to take credit for it. In fact, I will drag him publicly. If he tries to come out and be like, oh, yeah, that's all my hard work right there, I'm going to drag him through the mud and expose him. So he best watch himself. I'm done. I'm done being disappointed in my dad. I'm done trying to have a relationship with him, trying to be civil with him and everything. I'm done with that. He's in the past now, rear view mirror. Now I'm about to get me a job. I'm going to work damn hard, and I'm going to earn enough money, and I'm going to get myself a MacBook. A used one, of course, a little bit older generation. But the fact is I will be able to use it for school, and I will still be able to use it with my phone with the handoff compatibility. And that's the reason that I was aiming for that specific type of thing, so that I can hand off between my two devices easily and seamlessly. I've always had a deep love for that ability. I used to have an iPad, but now it's so outdated it doesn't work no more. But, yeah, so that's something I always liked about Apple. But that's also just me personally. I know other people have other reasons not to like them, and trust me, I've got my own reasons that I have issues with them. But at the end of the day, I make my decisions, and that's where I stand. But anyway, sorry for the long-winded video where I'm just, like, rambling and talking about my family and talking about college and talking about all that. And everything like that. But I am doing a lot better, and I'm fighting like hell to have the future that I want. I'm going to fight like hell to have the future I want, because what's the sense in living a life where you're laying around being defeated all day, every day, feeling sorry for yourself, and sitting there like, being like, yeah, no, just feeling sorry for yourself. I think that I can just summarize it that way. So it's just like, I'm done doing that. That is a miserable place to be. You're frozen in place, and it's like, you're miserable, but you're not doing anything to change the fact that you're miserable. So then are you not a contributing factor of your own misery? So if you are dissatisfied in life, you can always do something to change it. Sometimes you got to adapt to figure out how to change it, but there's always something. And that's where I want to leave this video at. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this has been a very interesting video. I hope it's not too long-winded and like all over the place. I'd like to think that I'm more on focused than I like at keeping my train of thought a lot better in this video than I have been in some of my past ones. It helps I did just have breakfast. So the brain's a little bit, it's got the cogs are going. But thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. I will probably keep you guys updated as I continue my journey. Additionally, any of the videos where I'm like crying and being like, boo-hoo, poor me, acting like the victim and everything, I might make those private in the future. I'm not sure yet. I'm still on the fence about it, because I did say a lot of stuff that was like really stupid. I will admit that. It's like, make it make sense. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to take those down yet. But anyway, but yeah. So like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for, all of your support and positivity, your comments and your likes, all of that. That means the world to me. So like I said, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.